Hi everybody. So I'm going to show you how I made my mold from start to finish. I'm just going to show you the impression, the mold itself, and then the finished product. So this is what I started out with. Okay, I actually got this from a 3D printer gentleman. It actually turned out really well. This is just hollow plastic. It cost me about 20 bucks. He can make them solid, but it costs more because it has to be a harder plastic. But that's what that looks like. And if you actually look really close, I don't know if you can see that or not, there are some holes in it. When I said earlier that you should take children's clay and fill the holes, those are the types of holes that I mean. Like any holes or cracks or anything, just put a little tiny bit in there and just take your finger like this and just smooth it out so that it's flush against the product itself, because you don't want any liquid resin getting in there, because when you go to pull this off, it's going to tear. So then this was the mold that I made from it, and this is the flange. So when I put it upside down like this, it gives it something to hold on to, so I can actually fold this down around a glass jar that I have, and I put an elastic band over it, and it's actually quite sturdy. Now this is liquid resin, the liquid latex that I showed you earlier, and I actually just did 7 layers, and then I did another layer and covered it in 1 layer of thin burn gauze. And you can buy burn gauze at any local pharmacy. You can even get it at the dollar store for $1. But what the gauze does is, like, it makes this so strong, like you don't have to worry about it bending. The first mold that I made like this, I didn't put the gauze on it, and when I put wax in it, it actually stretched the mold this way, and it got all deformed. So I figured out that if I put gauze on it, it'll actually keep its shape. This is the finished product. This is the candle that I made today. And this is made out of beeswax and tallow. And I actually got the coloring from soy crayons that I get from the place where I work. We sell all kinds of natural, kids-safe crayons. So I grabbed some of those and I chopped them up and I threw them in. A lot of people don't realize, but crayons are a great way to color your candles, and it's a very cheap way to color your candles too. You can even go down to your local Value Village or any thrift store that would carry secondhand stuff like that. I usually get big bags of crayons for $1. Like, big bags of crayons for $1. And then I'll just take them home and separate the colors, chop them up, and make all kinds of different candles. So this is what it looks like from start to finish. So you start off like this, you get this, which eventually turns into this beautiful thing. Isn't that lovely? That's so beautiful. I wish I could show you all the wonderful detail that's actually in this one. It actually has Celtic knots all the way through it. You can't really tell, but a trick that I use, because I use beeswax and tallow, they're natural waxes that you can get. Tallow is actually made from animal fats, and that's very, very simple to do. I'll actually make a video later on and show you how I make tallow. It's the same method. You can even go on YouTube and look up tallow making, and everybody makes it the exact same way. It's just a double boil method. All I do is I go to the grocery store and I look for cooking sprays like Pam or Maze cooking spray that's discounted like 50% off because it has expired. It's not good for human consumption, but it does make wonderful mold release when you spray it inside here, and it actually doesn't break down your mold, which is nice. The first candle I made in this mold, it was a nightmare trying to peel the mold off of the wax because it was so stuck. So today I sprayed it with Pam cooking spray, and it came off so easy. It was very, very simple. It was nice. You can get a special mold release and conditioner for this type of liquid latex, which I do recommend getting. You can get it from Cast and Craft. They recommend you getting it because it'll actually make the life of your molds longer. Cooking spray, I don't recommend using it overly too much when it comes to a mold like this because it might break down. I haven't tested that theory yet, but it is a worry that I have in the back of my mind. This mold took me about 3 days to complete, just because I do have a child that I have to contend with, so I can only work on it during certain times of the day. So normally, I think over the 3 days, it probably took me about 2 to 3 hours to complete this. And then I just punched a hole in the top right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Probably not. Here you go. Just punched a hole, and then I can run my wick. And this gray film right here is actually just a wax putty that you can get at your local craft store for sealing over wicks while you're waiting for your wax to cool, and it keeps it from pouring at the bottom. So I hope this was a little bit helpful at least, and stay tuned. I do take requests on videos that you would like to see. I'm working on a mold right now that is egg-shaped, and I can't wait for it to be finished so I can show you guys exactly what it looks like, and I can't wait to have a candle ready so I can show you because it's going to be neat. Anyway, post your comments and your questions below, and have a good night. Blessed be.